What if human DNA isn't entirely from Earth? What if the key to our existence came from space? Recent research suggests that the building blocks of life may have arrived through meteorites, asteroids, or even cosmic dust drifting through the universe. Our genetic code might carry clues of an origin far older and far farther than we ever imagined. Today, we'll follow these scientific traces to discover if there's truly something extraterrestrial inside us. For billions of years, Earth was bombarded by space rocks. Some of them didn't just carry dust or iron. They carried the very ingredients of life. In 2023, NASA revealed that asteroid Bennu, analyzed by the OSIRIS-REx mission, contains carbon, water, and complex organic molecules, the same elements found in our DNA. This supports an old but increasingly accepted idea. Maybe life didn't begin here. It just evolved here. In 2022, scientists analyzed meteorites that landed in Japan and Australia. The result: they found all 5 nitrogen bases of DNA and RNA: adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, and uracil, the most impressive part. These molecules were perfectly intact, preserved for billions of years in space. What does that mean? That the building blocks of life could have traveled unimaginable distances before arriving here. These discoveries aren't wild theories or sci-fi speculation. They're lab results, peer-reviewed and confirmed by scientists worldwide. And if the pieces of life's puzzle were floating through the cosmos, just waiting for a planet like Earth to assemble them, what else might have come with them? In 2017, 2 mummified bodies were discovered in Nazca, Peru. With elongated skulls and only 3 fingers on each hand, they were quickly nicknamed Clara and Mauricio, but the real shock came later. DNA tests revealed that 30% of their genetic material didn't match any known species, none, and the rest, a disturbing silence. This case split the scientific community. On one side, experts called for caution. After all, there was no peer review or independent verification. On the other, local researchers insisted these beings weren't human. The question hangs in the air: are we looking at an elaborate hoax, or evidence that challenges everything we know about biology? And this isn't the only strange case. Around the world, remains with unusual features and partially unknown DNA continue to surface. And while science demands caution and rigorous proof, it's hard to ignore the growing number of genetic anomalies that don't fit into Earth's evolutionary patterns. In 2003, a tiny skeleton was found in the Atacama Desert in Chile. Just 6 inches long, it had an elongated skull, large eye sockets, and deformed ribs. When the first images surfaced, the world immediately thought, alien. But science didn't rest. Researchers from Stanford University analyzed Ada's DNA. And the truth was even stranger. Ata was human, but not just any human. She was a female with severe and extremely rare genetic mutations that affected her bone development and body formation. 6 different mutations in skeletal development genes explained some of the deformities. Yet even with that explanation, the case remains deeply intriguing. In short, science gave us an answer, but the mystery still lingers. How many rare, anomalous mutations do we still not understand? And if genetic codes exist that don't match anything in our databases, does that mean they're from another world, or simply that we still know so little about our own? The idea may sound bold, but it didn't come from the movies. It came from labs. The Panspermia hypothesis suggests that life, or at least its essential components, may have originated outside Earth and arrived here via comets, meteorites, or cosmic dust. This theory gained strength when scientists found amino acids and organic molecules in meteorite fragments from deep space. One of the most famous supporters of this theory was renowned astrobiologist Chandra Wickramasinghe. Alongside Fred Hoyle, he argued that microorganisms could survive in the vacuum of space and travel vast distances, eventually landing on a hospitable planet like Earth. In other words, maybe life didn't start here, it just grew here. And as surreal as it sounds, we now know that some Earth microorganisms, like tardigrades, can survive in space, even in extreme temperatures, without water or oxygen. This opens up real possibilities for panspermia and forces us to rethink the entire idea of alien life. Maybe aliens don't have humanoid shapes... Maybe they've been inside us all along. DNA is a language written in just 4 letters, a T, C, and G, yet able to code everything we are. Now, imagine if that language had mathematical patterns... too symmetrical to be random. Research by geneticists and mathematicians found that certain genetic sequences follow precise numerical proportions, some even aligned with the golden ratio and universal constants. Coincidence? Maybe. But not everyone agrees. One study by Kazakhstani researchers suggested that the genetic code contains arithmetic patterns that could indicate an artificial signature. The idea wasn't that we're clones of aliens, but that perhaps some advanced intelligence left a mark. A mathematical signal embedded in life itself. Of course, this theory is controversial. Most of the scientific community leans toward evolutionary and statistical explanations. But the question remains, what if DNA isn't just a manual? What if it's also a message that traveled through the cosmos... waiting for someone like us to decode it? With each discovery, the line between science and mystery gets thinner. Organic compounds from space, unexplainable genetic sequences, mutations that defy traditional biology, mathematical patterns inside our DNA. We may not have definitive proof of extraterrestrial origins, but we have far too many clues to ignore, and that changes everything... If parts of our genetic code came from elsewhere, then we are, in part, children of the stars, not just poetically, but literally. The water we drink, the elements in our bodies, and maybe even the first molecules of life could have been born in a distant corner of the universe. And that doesn't make us less human, on the contrary. It makes us part of something greater, much greater. A cosmic cycle where planets, meteorites, and living beings are all connected through the same genetic dance. Looking up at the sky may no longer be about searching for alien life... but searching for ourselves. What if all of this is true? What if every cell in your body holds a clue? A silent echo from a past that began among the stars. Science might not have all the answers, but the questions are becoming impossible to ignore. What we're discovering now might change not just what we know about DNA... but what we know about ourselves. Now it's up to you... if this video sparked something inside you. A question, a spark, a curiosity you just can't shake. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Every week, we dive even deeper into the universe's greatest mysteries. And into life itself... because sometimes, to understand who we are, we have to look up, far beyond Earth.